Hi, Jonathan York from Bay Financial Partners, looking at investment markets. Historically, October is a pretty rough month for equities, but doesn't appear to be this year. Equities really pushing on at a pretty good rate, especially in the US, setting fresh highs, lifetime highs. Really driven on the back of a sort of two-pronged attack, really better than expected earnings, but also as well, it looks like they're finally getting a little bit of headway and traction on the tax reforms, which is obviously going to be pretty positive for the US economy. Those tax reforms could be quite interesting. A little bit of a watered down proposal, though, from what President Trump initially proposed in his sort of election campaigns, but it does appear to be making a little bit of traction going forward. But as always with this presidency, it wouldn't be a sort of day in the presidency without some sort of controversy. And President Trump presently embroiled in a little bit of a dispute regarding the death of a serviceman, which really is taking a little bit of the shine off some of the positive news going forward on the tax reforms. So it'll just be very interesting to see how that sort of plays through. The market is still expecting a further rate hike from the Fed as well in December. And it'll just be interesting now to see how that sort of plays through in the sort of first half of 2018. If you do see these tax reforms going through, potentially it puts quite a bit of money back into the economy, and that could just spur a little bit of growth, more growth going forward. On the back of that, oil is back above sort of $50, currently trading around $52. And again, just very interesting to see how that sort of plays through towards year end. Because certainly at the moment, the anticipated sort of extra supply coming through from the shale fields hasn't really pushed down the prices yet. Also, a little bit too early to see what sort of impact the recent sort of disasters from the hurricanes have had on the US economy. Most of it's expected to be sort of pretty short term as the sort of recovery and relief programs really kick into gear, and that again should spur a little bit of growth going forward. We head into November as well. It's going to be very interesting to see if we see a rate increase from the Bank of England. Certainly the latest data on the inflation front points to a rate increase. But obviously on the flip side of that, you've got a relatively sort of weak economy, and you've still got the big unknown with the Brexit negotiations, which really don't appear to be going anywhere fast. Has just wrapped up its conference meeting, and again, it's just really cemented the power there of Xi Jinping, and really now is sort of looking to push forward and really turn China into the sort of mega superpower he sort of envisages for it. He's been really given a huge vote of confidence, and it's just going to be very interesting now to see how China sort of progresses over the next sort of 2 to 3 years. Certainly, the moment growth out there in China is, it certainly has slowed down, but it's sort of 6.7 to 6.9%. It's still pretty robust, and arguably, at least double the rest of the Western world. Here in New Zealand, obviously, we've got the announcement of the new government, a New Zealand Labour NZ First coalition, with the green supplying confidence on the side. Now, really just waiting to see what sort of policies come through and what sort of horse trading is taking place to get this sort of coalition into place. Initial sort of reaction to the announcements appear to be sort of reasonably positive. There's going to be a pretty good fund for the regions, which really could be a bit of a sort of windfall all round. On the inflation side, potentially, the increase in the minimum wage is a little bit inflationary, and it's just going to be very interesting to see certainly how the smaller businesses sort of cope with that. Obviously it is a major sort of hurdle for them to get through, and it's just going to be very interesting to see if that extra money sort of going through into the economy does spur the growth, which can then obviously feed and sort of pay for their wage increases. On the back of the announcement, the New Zealand dollar's taken a little bit of a hit and it's back through 90 cents on the Aussie, and it's just going to be interesting to see really where that sort of starts to settle. Traditionally the foreign exchange markets are a little bit nervous on a Labour government, and that's certainly been the reaction so far. But most analysts expect to see a little bit of buying coming through because, if you look at it, New Zealand economy is still in pretty good shape. Now, as always, if you're looking for income options, plenty of alternatives out there. And give us a call on 0800 867 323 or go to the website www.bayfinancialpartners.co.nz for lots of interesting articles. We look forward to speaking to you soon.